Welcome to the stream, John Douma. This is a live stream, by the way. I'll make sure I post it afterwards, so we'll probably get fan questions towards the end. I appreciate you being here, man. First off, I want to say congratulations on getting married. I believe that was in June, right?
That was in June, yeah, June 24th.
Nice, man. How's preparation going for this fight coming on September 15th?
It's going real good, man. Done this a lot of times now, so kind of getting in a routine. I added some different things in. I got a nutritionist now, so it's been a huge help. I should have done that a long time ago. Strength training, I did that my last time, and then just sticking with Triforce and Coach Vic and all that. So it's been good.
Now you got married in June. How does that change as far as balancing training, marriage, work as well too? Balancing it all, has it been decent so far? Is it better having a partner that you come home to every night? What are the differences and how's it going so far?
Yeah, I think my wife is really understanding of this. We've been together. I've been fighting a lot longer than we've been together, so she knew what she was getting herself into, so to speak. So trainings, especially when a fight camp's coming up, she understands the training's got to come. I have to work, so it's I find the time. It gets tough, but I find the time.
No, that's great, man. And you're fighting Jake Pilla for the vacant title. What are your thoughts on your opponent?
He's good. I don't really have anything bad to say about him. He's another black belt. And I don't even think it's any fault of his own. I think he's had a lot of guys drop out. So I don't think, I'm obviously going to be a big step up in competition for him. So we'll see how he reacts to that. But other than that, seems like a good kid. Seems like a good fighter. So it should be fun.
Yeah, I saw that most of his fights were at a catch weight, and I also saw that most of his fights were ended pretty early, and it was all submissions. I saw that one of your areas of expertise is submission. So are we going to get like a John Jones, you're going to beat him at his own game? You're going to show him there's levels to this? What are your plans going into this fight?
We'll see, man. I agree there is levels to this. And then just in fight knowledge, in fight IQ, time in the cage, it adds up. And I got a lot of that. So I think, I never hunt for anything early. I never try to, come out quick and finish the fight and just get it over with. So we'll see. I think it's going to be, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm excited, man.
How do you think experience plays a factor? Because let's say you guys find yourself in round number 2, round number 3. Most of his fights, like we said earlier, has been ended early, right? So as far as going into the later rounds, how do you feel your experience thus far helps you as compared to him and getting his opponents out early? Because you're a durable fighter. I saw all your fights mostly by decision. As far as if you do suffer a loss, how does that play out as far as experience? How does that play a factor?
I think it plays big. Luckily my last fight was a 5-round fight as well. So, and I was in there with a guy who's done that a couple times, and that was my first 5-round fight. So just, learning how to pace yourself, learning how to stay calm in certain situations. That's something that can only come with experience. You can do all you want in the gym, but unless you're in that cage and doing it for real, that's hard to replicate. So I think, it's going to be a big factor for me.
No, of course. And you said you added a nutritionist. Can you just go in a little bit more detail on the differences that you've seen thus far by adding that to your camp?
Yeah. Shout out Trisha Cornell. She's awesome. She's been helping me so much. I've been eating more. Everything's so calculated. Good. So it's all scientific. So me just being like an old wrestler idiot, my whole training camps would just be like barely eating, no carbs. So now I know exactly what I should be eating, how much I should be eating, and it turns out to be a lot more than I was. So going through my workouts, I have a ton more energy. I don't we're less than 2 weeks out from the fight now, and I still feel good. So I think it's been pretty key for me.
As far as cutting weight before, were you like waiting to like the last few days to cut weight and it took a toll on your body? Or I guess more of my question is the way you used to cut weight before, would you feel it come fight night or it was never that bad?
Um, I definitely felt different fight night, but it would be like throughout my camp. So I would cut carbs way too early. So like last 3 weeks would just I just struggle through the workouts, try to like make by. So I would just start to decline, decline, decline. Obviously on fight night I'd feel a lot better because I'd be all carved up, but like I don't know how much better I could have been feeling. You know what I
Of
mean?
course,
It's
that makes sense. Yeah. No, I'm
so
excited to see you in the octagon as far as with a nutritionist. Who knows how much better you feel or quick to the quick to the punch and just overall energy wise. I'm excited to see you
yeah, man.
in there.
It's like, at this level, it's like the little details start to matter, So I'm trying to get all that squared away, and I think the more you do it, the more you see. So now I understand that how much these little details matter. Like nutritionists, you don't think much about it, but it could make or break a fight.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I'm excited to see you September 15th. That's on UFC Fight Pass as well, right? For the vacant title. Tell me a little bit about Combat FC and getting in touch with them and getting I believe your first fight there as well too, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been since Combat FC started. I've been talking to Joe Cav. He's been wanting to get me on the cards for a long time. I just things didn't work out with my timeline and my schedule. So luckily this time it worked out, and they were the first people I thought of when I knew I wanted to come back in September. So they were the first people I thought of. I knew they were doing a card, so we just hit them up, and they've been great so far. Like I said, the little things, man. All the little things that they do. It goes a long way with fighters. So just being easy, being approachable, stuff like that. Like just throughout the fight camp's been nice.
So you recently got married. You're fighting for promotion that you like. It seems like things are going
Yeah,
generally good for you. Is that a safe assumption heading into this fight?
yeah, 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 I'd say so. Who would have thought, man? Because I'm coming off 2 losses, but I feel better now about my training camps and my fights and my where my fighting career is heading than I did before those fights. So I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, even though this is you've been at this for a while, but it's still generally as far as your age is early in your career, and maybe this is a beginning, or is this how you view it? The beginning of just a 2.0 version of you, where now you got a nutritionist, now you're married, you're stable, you're fighting for Combat FC. Heading into the future, heading into this fight, what is your mindset?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, from the beginning, my mindset's been getting into the UFC.
Okay.
Um, I knew it wasn't going to be a smooth road. It's always a bumpy road, unless you're one of the greats. But it's I think the more I'm doing it, the more I'm learning. It's starting to become more and more of a clear path.
Okay, and real quick, I might have to send you another link and stop the video and send it again because it says I have 10 minutes left. But I'll let you know if anything. I'll shoot you a text.
Yeah,
Let's go a little bit off track a little bit. One thing that I found quite interesting is one of your favorite hobbies, if not favorite hobbies,
yeah,
is fishing. Right?
yeah,
Can you tell
yeah.
me a little bit about that?
Gets in the way of that, man.
What's
I'm
that?
trying to, this fighting gets in the way of that, man. I got a 3 day
Uh,
weekend, and I'm tired, I'm sore, so I'm just trying to recover. I should be out fishing right now.
no, especially with the weather, right, and the
Yeah,
season
dog.
that we're in. You've been
Dude.
fishing since you were little, right? If I'm
But
not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah. Since I was in diapers, my dad's been big into it, so he's always been taking me out and stuff. And then started going on my own when I got a little older, and it's just, I love it.
uh Most people ask, I guess, what's that first meal you're gonna eat after a fight? Maybe a better question to ask you is, when's the first day you're gonna be able to get out on the water after this? After September 15th, do you have any plans lined up?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how I feel. I got luckily it's a Friday fight, so you get that Saturday, Sunday before you got to go back to work. So, if I'm feeling good, if it's a quick fight, then yeah, I'm gonna be right back on the water.
Oh no, that's great, man. I also have some fan questions for you. Okay, if we could quickly go through that, maybe before getting into some other things. Um, Fan question from Hito 609. What part of Jersey are you from?
Northern Jersey, so it's like Bergen County. We're about like I don't know, I'd say like 30 minutes from New York City. So yeah, it was a good area to grow up in, especially like I grew up wrestling, so there was a ton of high level wrestlers out there, and I wish I started fighting before I moved out there because it was would have been a good place to grow up there too for that.
Is your father still back in Jersey?
Yeah,
And your
so
family? Mhm.
they have a house in New York as well, like a vacation house. So they kind of
Yeah.
split time out there between New York and New Jersey. So they're both retired, so they're living the dream.
And how much of a drive is that for you now? From because you're in Rhode Island, correct?
Yeah, it's like 3 hours. It's not bad. I could do it for a weekend, and it's not too big a deal.
And you're really close to your family. You try to go back and forth quite
Yeah,
often.
yeah. I see them. I see them quite a bit. We stay pretty close.
How's the support from the family as far as your fighting career?
It's good, man. It's always been good. My dad loves it.
Good.
He wish he was a little too old for it when he was growing up, but he always says, "Man, I wish I could have done this." Um, my mom, my mom's into it. She really she likes it and she enjoys that I'm healthy and living a good lifestyle. She gets nervous for the fights.
And
She's
as any mom would, right? Of
used to come to all of them. Now it's hard for her to make them, but I understand. I don't want to put this on anybody, so
course.
like anybody that doesn't want to be too involved with it, I don't push it on anybody. I don't make anybody feel bad about it. So anybody that can come, great. My dad will come. My dad comes to every fight. He'll drive. He'll fly to Japan if he has to
Oh,
watch
nice.
me. But yeah, yeah. So it's I get a ton of support from home.
And I'm sure it's important to have strong support. Now you have a wife, you have a father that are like super invested in you. So
Yeah, yeah.
that
And my father-in-law too. My wife's father he used to be a boxing coach. He loves it. So I just saw him yesterday. He's giving me tips and stuff. It's great.
yeah, no, that's great, man. To hear. Random question, another one for you as well too. Um, who do you think the GOAT is? That is from Snipey McSended. Who do you think the GOAT is of MMA? I know that these are random, so they're putting you under the eight ball.
I gotta say Demetrius Johnson. I think just like skill level, the way he moves, the way he does everything is it can't be matched. I know he's undefeated. He's got a couple losses. People could argue with Khabib, but you've just seen more out of Demetrius Johnson, and I think in all levels he's just so much more well rounded.
He doesn't get mentioned enough, and I think you tell me what you think about this. I think that has to do with just him being at a lighter division at a
Yeah.
time when that those divisions they didn't get that much shine. Imagine him right now at 125
Oh,
in the
oh
UFC fighting like a Moreno and Figueiredo, and I would honestly pick him to win almost against any top fighter right now. So just imagine if he were active now, but he doesn't get mentioned enough.
nah, but you know what? I'm not upset that he went to ONE FC. I think he's got like he had that raw tank fight. Like I think he's
Yep.
doing a lot more cool stuff. He can show off a little bit more. And the vision, there's a lot of smaller guys out over there in Asia. So I think he's got a little bit better competition at those lighter weight classes. So I've been enjoying his career so far out there.
No, yeah, I saw the last card that he was on where he fought on ONE FC. I think generally for the most part everything went good for him as far as
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
streaming now. He's fighting at ONE FC. So good for Demetrius. I love this question. This is from Beta Quest. What was a fight where you had that aha moment where you thought you belonged in the cage?
Ooh, that's a good one, man.
Yeah, no, that's credit to him. Yeah.
I guess I want to say my second to last amateur fight, it was a title fight against Brian Rossi. Um, I was getting my ass kicked, like just
Right.
old. Like it was a 5 round fight. The first 2 rounds, man, I was bleeding all over the place. I was just messed up, and I had the decision to make. Like I can try to finish this fight, or I can go out. And luckily, I caught him with an uppercut, grabbed him in a guillotine. He rolled out. I got the choke, and that was it. That was like I was like, man, I am a fighter. Like I can live through this. I know,
Right.
I'm durable. So I think that was it.
Yeah, where you have either I could sink or swim in this moment, and you chose to
Yeah,
like to go for it. No, that's and I saw the triangle choke in
yeah,
Bellator, which I was impressed by. I was looking at a few highlights. How was that moment in the octagon?
that was scary. You know, I ended up actually
Because of
breaking
the
my back.
slams? Is that why you say it
Yeah,
was
man,
scary? Right.
I broke a vertebrae doing that.
Oh, I didn't see that online. Wow.
But like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I didn't really mention it much, but
Right.
my vertebrae cracked in that during that slam because everybody on like on the comments and stuff was like, "Oh man, how did you not break his neck? How did you not break his back?" Like I
You're like
did,
something broke. Right. Yeah.
but but yeah, I mean, I think like by then I was a little more like I knew who I was, so like I knew I wasn't gonna let go of that choke. So you know, I think I think that was like me living that out. But like when I found out who I was,
Gonna let him slam him again, and then you got the triangle choke finish. How did that feel? And I didn't know you had a problem with a vertebrae as well too, right? You could
yeah,
keep touching on that. Wow.
yeah, yeah. So I accidentally grabbed the wrong leg when he went to pick me up.
Okay.
Um, he wouldn't have been able to pick me up if I grabbed the other one, but like it
Mm.
was already locked in, and it happened so fast. I was like, man, maybe I can like salvage this with just grabbing that other leg. He ended up still slamming me anyway, but we got it
Did
done.
did the first like two slams hurt, or were you like, I'm not letting this go no matter what? Like, did you know you, or were you a little worried, or you
It,
felt okay there?
I was worried because I heard some stuff like crunch, but
Hmm. Right.
but
Right.
like it, you know, when you get those adrenaline moments, like you know something's wrong, but you can't really feel it. So I just held on because I knew if I was gonna let go, man, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I don't know if I was gonna be able to stand back up when I let go. So just kept it in, and thank God he tapped, and yeah,
No, and
fun
you got the
times.
job done. No, absolutely. Random question as well too. This is from Trey Melton, aka the troll in the chat. But he goes, Elon or Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh, um, I don't know, man. It's like I don't know. I don't care. I you know so
Hmm.
I I I ended up back when Rough and Rowdy was in Rhode Island. They ended up
Okay.
paying through the corners,
Hmm.
and you just like you can't tell with fights like based off like neither of them are athletic, but like if one of them's more athletic,
Right.
like, you can't tell because like dude, I watched Pac-Man Jones
Mm.
like elite athlete in the world, like just look like absolute garbage in there. No offense to him, he doesn't know how to fight,
Of
but
course.
like you know against just some like hometown guy. So I don't know, man. I can't call a shot on that one. I'd love to, but it would just I'd roll the dice on it.
No, no, that's fair. And I almost wanted to put a little more pressure on it, but I'll leave you alone for that one. Let me ask you this. I like this question. This is actually from Trey. He goes, one fighter in the UFC top 10 you think you can beat right now?
Hmm. In my weight class, um,
Yes,
I mean, you know, as a fighter, I want to say all of them.
of course. Yep.
Got to be that way if you're going to be a fighter. So I don't want
Absolutely.
to. But
Or if someone you like to fight that you just think you'll do good against, and if you could pick, hey, pick your top 10, anyone from there that you say, I like my chances, give me him.
um, yeah, I'd like to fight Yanez. Um,
Interesting.
I did Rob Font's training camp with Rob
I
for
saw that
that.
you trained with him, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've been training together for a long time. You know, they call me in sometimes when they got fights, and I'm similar. So, you know, I think just being like I had to study him for that and kind of do what he was doing. So, I feel like I kind of got his number a little bit just
Okay.
from in the past. So, I think I think that would be a good one. I don't know. Is he in top 10? I don't know if he's still in the
I
top
don't,
10.
I don't know if he's in the top 10. If someone in chat could let me know that so I don't have
I
to
have to
look it
look at
up.
the list.
Yeah,
I don't. It changes so often, man. I can't even.
absolutely.
I can't even
Uh,
tell.
I'm sure in a few seconds someone will let us know. How is it training with Rafa, and what do you feel you've learned from him and vice versa?
Oh, a lot. He's the man. He's like you'd never think he's like one of the, you know, top guys in the world. He's just so humble, down to earth. He's just, you know, a normal guy training. Um
One of the best jabs in the
and that's
UFC.
what I was gonna say, man. I think a lot of my jab just from coming up with him, just copying what he did and following what he did. I think it helped me a lot develop my jab, and that's kind of the foundation for everything else. So
Has he hit you
that
with
was,
the jab? How does it feel?
oh, it sucks. It comes like it's so smooth and it's
Yeah.
so fast, and he's got no tells that like when it hits you, you're like, what the hell was that? But
Is that what gets you? Like, there's no tells behind it, and he kind of just snaps the jab. He sticks it out there. He has the leverage too and the length to go
yeah,
with it. So
it's so smooth, man. Like everything, the way he moves with it and everything, it's just he's real. And then he backs up a two behind it. He's just really really smooth.
no, that's amazing. Another question for you. Fan question from Beta: do you prefer to watch tape or have the coach analyze it?
Both. Um, I like to watch it for myself. I don't get too deep into it when I watch it. Um, because there's some things that I'll miss or some things that my coach has different opinions on. So, I'll watch, like for example, with this fight, I watched all of Jake's pro fights, see what he likes to do, how he fights. And then I send it over to my coach, and then he kind of comes up with the game plan off of little things that he does and stuff like that. So, you know, and if you watch it too much, I think guys start over analyzing, over watching everything. You kind of you make yourself nervous. Oh shoot, what about this, what about this, what about this? So I kind of like I let my coach deal with that part of stuff, and then but like I get an idea of what I like to see.
No, great, great. What do you train the most during camp? And I have two more after that, and then I'll leave alone the fan questions. But what do you train the most during camp, if you do train anything more specifically than others?
mm, I mean, my schedule doesn't really change. Like I do, so for now I do boxing Mondays, jujitsu Tuesdays, sparring and jujitsu Wednesdays, and MMA practice Thursdays, and then I do like a big MMA sparring day on Saturday. So that doesn't change. I think the intensity comes up. I guess if you had to say what I train the most, it's jujitsu, but that's just because there's so like there's gi, there's no gi. I teach jujitsu, so I'll probably do that the most. But I still do a ton of boxing, still do a ton of kickboxing, still do a ton of MMA stuff. So wall work and all stuff like that. But I think as the camp happens, the intensity of each practice just gets a little bit higher and higher and higher up until the week of the fight.
Okay, nice. And chat, I'll try to get to some more questions maybe towards the end. How do you feel physically right now before September 15th? And what does this fight necessarily mean for your career?
Physically, I feel great. Just going back to that nutritionist, I feel well fueled. I feel good. I'm in good shape right now. Like I said, I did it last time, and I know how to prepare for 5 rounds. So I feel good throughout all my sparring. And then I think as far as this fight, where it puts me in my career is a pretty good spot. The last kid that had the 135 belt looked real good in the contender series. He got a call up. So I think there's kind of a common theme with people becoming champions in these promotions that they're next to call up or next to fill in for somebody or something up at the big show. So I think that puts me right there.
No, that's I think that's optimistic, and I would agree with you. You're on UFC Fight Pass. This is your moment to shine, and it seems like in your life, and you could tell me how you feel about this, but I feel like this moment and this opportunity for you is the best timing, right?
Yeah,
Right after marriage, right after everything. It just seems
yeah,
like you got a good head on your shoulders. You got a nutritionist. Like this is probably that you're make it or break it. It almost feels like, not to put too much pressure on you, but
yeah.
like everything almost seems to be going in your favor.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. I agree.
No, that's post fight meal. What are you planning to have after the 15th?
Every time, and I couldn't tell you why, but
Mm-hmm.
every time after my fight, it's mint chocolate chip ice cream. And then I always crave pizza during fight camps because I cut my carbs out so much.
Yeah.
So it's pizza and mint chocolate chip ice cream, and I'll house that, man. That's what I go straight for.
How's the pizza in Rhode Island? Is it good? I've never been.
Sucks, man. It's not New Jersey. Everybody wants to tell me, oh, it's good, it's good, it's good. listen, if you grew up in New Jersey, New York, you understand that there's a difference. But
They're
you know,
known.
I make do. There's some good spots around here that I can find, but
You ever been to Philadelphia?
I have.
Yeah. What do you think about the pizza out here? Because I'll tell you a little bit about myself and what I think about pizza as compared to both states. But have you had food out here?
I haven't spent too much time in Philly. And when I do, I got to go for the cheesesteaks. So
Right.
I had too much pizza out there. How is it?
It's great. I grew up in I was born in Newark, New Jersey, right?
Okay.
So I was born there, and then I grew up in Elizabeth, New Jersey, for about 16 years. I'm sure since you're from Newark, Jersey, you're kind of right aware of that of over there. Yeah, and then I moved to Philadelphia. I live right outside of Philadelphia, so I'm torn, man. Half of
Yeah.
my life was in Jersey, half of my life was in Philadelphia,
Yep.
and I'm married as well too. I have a daughter, so like I kind of
Okay.
I almost feel like I'm leaving Jersey behind, and I kind of pick Philadelphia for most things, the
Yeah.
sports, the food. I like the pizza out here, like
Really?
it compares, and then the cheesesteaks, the restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
you got to come out here one day. I think you'll like it.
Definitely. Definitely. It's a good team. My dad's a huge Phillies fan.
Is
So
he?
yeah, yeah. One year for his birthday, we all went out there. We went to one of the games. We got cheesesteaks. We did the whole thing. So next time I got to try the pizza.
What makes him of it? Did he grow up in Jersey as well too?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what makes him a Phillies fan? Is it was he from like South Jersey originally, or is
think
there a story to
uh,
that?
I think like I don't know. I think he went to one game when he was a kid, and like it was his birthday or something, and he just had like the best time of his life. And then that was it. Like he's just he's not a huge baseball guy, but
Right.
like that kind of hooked him into it. So
So you said your dad is a Phillies fan. What are you? Because I don't think
oh,
you
I don't care. I'm not. Ever since I started fighting, man, like I just
you
all
don't got
sports
time.
washed away from me. Yeah, I got my own stuff to deal with. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, this is a personal invitation. Since you don't really have a team, you might as well follow your father's
All right, yeah,
footsteps.
absolutely.
I'm gonna have to send you a Phillies hat one of these days, man. I think
Sounds good.
that we'll trade where we do that. I do that for you, and if I ever find myself in Rhode Island, I've got into fishing last year.
Nice, man. Nice.
I got myself a kayak,
Oh yeah.
and I fish right out of there. I'll send you a couple pictures. I've caught some bass. Any tips as far as I've never been on a boat and fishing deep sea, or I saw that you like surf fishing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
go a little crazy. Like, well, me and my friend Andy,
yeah,
goes by Raging Korean. He's another fighter out of here.
yeah.
We're kind of crazy, so we put on like wetsuits and we go out swimming out to like rocks that are a little bit farther out and fish like middle of the night. Do that. So it's that's a whole other level. But it's just you just got to stay patient with it, man. It's just like fighting. The more you do it, the more you understand, the more you know, and you can uh you can start doing good.
They say fish bite more at night. Is that why you prefer fishing at night, or
Yeah, it depends. So it depends the kind of fish. Like we mostly fish for straight bass. So they're nocturnal, not totally nocturnal, but
Mhm.
they're mostly active during the night, especially in the summertime. So that's when we like to go out and target them. And it's nice because nobody's around you, nobody's seeing what you're doing, so it's a little bit easier.
I haven't tried. I've only fished out of a kayak, which is a lot of fun. If you've never tried that,
Oh, oh
I would
yeah,
suggest it.
yeah. I've done it. I used to have a kayak when I lived down in Narragansett, and I love doing that. That's fun, man. I almost like that more than fishing out of a boat, just because you're in the water and it's all on you.
It's gaining popularity, and yes, I guess you would like it too, since you do the surf fishing yourself.
Yeah,
So you kind of like being like right in there, like as far
yeah,
as like
yeah,
in tune with nature as much as possible. It sounds like,
yeah.
man. You
Yeah,
know
I
what?
have a boat, man, but sometimes I'd rather be surf fishing just because, just like what I said, you're in with the fish, it feels like you're hunting them.
Yeah, you hear all the sounds. Your boat's
Yep,
not running.
yep, yep.
It's an experience. I've got into it last year, and I love it. So I'm trying to
Nice.
fish any chance I get. I did
Yeah.
actually a kayak tournament fishing.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like your best five, and
yeah, yeah.
and it was a bass tournament, and I caught two pickerel. So I'm a rookie.
God, just keep sticking with it, man. You'll get good. You find patterns and stuff, and it all
No,
becomes great to that.
No, it's a lot of fun. Switching gears, what can we expect September 15th, man? I guess one of my final questions for you, man.
Yeah, more the same as you guys know me for. That durability, that never quit attitude. I'm coming out for this belt. Like you said, it's, not putting it too much on myself, but it feels like it's a make or break moment for me. So, I got to come out hard and make sure I get this win. So, I'm going to do whatever it takes, and you guys know what that means.
No, absolutely, man. I'm super excited for you. Anybody you want to shout out um here before we end the interview? And I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm super
Yeah,
excited. I seen your fighting style. It's fun. Maybe we could have you post fight if you're free one of these
absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Monday mornings is where we always have a podcast. So this is don't feel forced to answer, but if you're free Monday
Yeah,
morning, just to talk a
yeah.
little bit post
Uh,
fight, you let
I
me
might be,
know.
but if I'm not, I'll definitely hit you up, and I could find some time during work to just, I'll
I,
hide in
I
something, do a quick interview.
no,
Um,
I appreciate that. Yep.
yeah, definitely shout outs. I got to thank everybody at Triforce, Coach Pete. Those guys, they've been with me for the start of my career and taught me almost everything I know. My boxing coach, Coach Vic, is a legend around here. He's one of the best boxing coaches around. Got to shout out my nutritionist, Trisha Cornell, my strength coach, Ross Levine, um, one of my sponsors who became my boss, and he owns a company that I work for, Patsy Sperduto. He's done so much for me. Uh, you know, Everybody else, Randy Costa is going to be on the card fighting too. We've been working a lot together this camp, so shout out to him. And then just like I said, the crew at Triforce, everybody that's coming up, Dion Rubio, Sahib Jackson, they've been with me through this whole camp, so it's been I got a lot of good people around me.
No, that's great, man. It sounds like you have a strong corner, a strong team behind you, like you said. We'll be watching. I got a funny feeling, man. Before we end, I got a funny feeling you're gonna pull a John Jones and beat him at his own game. So
I
that
think so.
I
I
I
hope so.
I guess that'll be my prediction, man. Listen, good luck. Appreciate you coming on. If we could do the Monday afterwards, we can. If not, no worries.
All right.
Excited to watch. I'm sure there's people in the chat. A couple guys are saying nice things about you, so I appreciate you being here.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
We'll be supporting. We'll be watching. I'll reach out to you, man. I appreciate you for coming on. All right.
Yeah. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the time.
Yep. Good luck, man. See you, man.
All right. I'll talk to you after.
Yep. Later.